Warning, the following video contains spoilers. If you don't want this episode spoiled for you, switch the video off now. Okay, so long story short, due to a technical issue with my recording for this week's review, I've had to totally scrap it, and because I don't have time to do a full new recording, you're just going to have to make do with my voice and my spinny head. What did you think about this week's episode of My Hero Academia? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll get back to you shortly, either directly in the comments themselves or towards the end of next week's video. And whilst you're there, be sure to like, favourite, subscribe, click the bell, and do all the YouTubey stuff that YouTube wants you to do. YouTube is an increasingly scary place of small content creators like myself, and all the support that you can give me is worth its weight in gold. This week we had another well-paced episode which helps to build upon the world and the concepts therein, helps to build its lore, its characters, and of course do some very solid world building, and as well as explore some of the theories and ideas that are contained therein, including the whole quirk singularity / quirk doomsday thing. I'm going to be honest with you, dear listener, I am not a fan of the whole quirk doomsday thing for reasons that I really don't have the time to go into right now. But suffice it to say, I really don't like the idea of it, and I worry the fact that we keep hinting at it that this is something we might see in the not too distant future, but that is tomorrow's problem. We won't worry about that for now. I'm going to be honest, whilst I did enjoy the episode as a whole, I think that the first half of it was the weaker half of it. Whilst I did really enjoy the little bit of world building and lore stuff that we did get with Midoriya and All Might, I do feel that how it was delivered wasn't quite as dynamic or as interesting as it really should be. I feel that the whole flashback dream sequence from last week was far more emotionally engaging and a lot more interesting than what we got this week. Maybe it's because I'm just so punch drunk from having seen the past 2 seasons of Chris Chibnall era Doctor Who that I'm just kind of done with having characters just sitting there just talking about their problems without much dynamism to it. I don't really know, but again, it just really lacked any kind of spark to it and creativity that a whole dream sequence stuff that we got last week was. Again, not bad, but I feel that it could have been done better. I do enjoy seeing Midoriya and All Might together. I think that they play off each other really well and have a great chemistry, and I wish that we saw more of them together because they really are a great duo. Shame we can't really have them as a hero and a sidekick thing for obvious reasons, but you know what? They are great together, and I wish we could see more of them just having fun and interacting with one another. I feel that the best content in this episode was all the stuff connected towards the big fight between Class 1A and Class 1B, that being the build-up and the first fight itself, what little that we ended up seeing of it. I'll get onto that stuff in just a moment, but I just want to say that am I the only one that kind of found it weird that Iwasawa had such a vested interest in Shinso? Like, it's one thing for him to support him academically as a teacher, but to give him part of his costume, an iconic part of it, it just feels really weird to me. Now, to be honest with you, dear listener, I'm not trying to insinuate anything icky here, not at all. It just feels like if this is supposed to be Iwasawa becoming a possible mentor for Shinso, that this should have been something that we've seen develop over previous episodes. You know, the odd scene here and there, maybe a whole episode if we're feeling a bit brave, but to just have it suddenly happen just feels really, really strange. It feels as though we've missed a whole arc, a whole character arc for the pair of them, a whole set of episodes, if not a whole mini arc in and of itself. Maybe in future episodes we'll get bits of flashbacks to see how these two started to connect with one another to get to the point where Iwasawa thinks, you know what, let's give this kid a chance, let's give him a chance, and you know what, I'm going to take him under my wing and he's going to be the next me. Because I've always felt that Shinso was ultimately going to become the next Iwasawa. It was only a matter of time, really, but you know, to push him out like this, to become this so soon, just feels rather odd to me. It feels as though the writers looked at one of those character poll lists and saw just how popular Shinjo was, and someone said, put that guy in it more, the people like him, put it in it more. Like, it's a little bit weird to me, not in an icky way, but again, that the mentorship relationship just is happened rather than being developed. But you know what, again, maybe we'll get some flashbacks and an explanation for it later on. I'll be honest with you, I really did enjoy the second half of it, mostly due to the fact that we're able to see more of our extended cast. We've not really seen many of the characters from Class 1A for quite a while now. Even last season, when we saw about 4 or 5 of them, only merely about a couple of them really mattered all that much to the events that we saw they're in. They were just kind of there for a lot of the time in the background, just to remind us that they were still in the program. And as for Class 1B, well, we've not seen them in a very long time, and we've really not seen what they can do as far as their quirks and abilities concerned, like full stop. Even when that big tournament stuff towards the start of this whole series ended up kicking off, we didn't really see much of them. We didn't really see much of their powers at all. So it's really exciting to see what they can do now they've actually had time to grow and develop their hero abilities, and to see what kind of creative stuff that they can pull off. I feel that one of the things that this show does fantastically well is its action sequences, and really exciting to see what they'll end up being able to pull out as we go forward to it. Sure, it could end up becoming incredibly schlocky, but you know what? I'm perfectly down with that. I love these kind of story arcs in anime. I love the whole tournament arc thing. It's one of my favourite things in programs like this. I'll be honest, some programs do it more than others, and I've really not liked what I've seen thus far with what I've been watching of Dragon Ball Super, but that's a whole other discussion for another time. I understand that some people want more substantial content with this program, that they want stuff to be a little bit more serious and a little bit more sedate and a little bit more deeper. I understand that, and I want that too, but we've kind of had that now for the past 3 story arcs. So to have something that's a little bit more adventurous, a little bit more light, freestyle and airy, is something I think will do a power of good. And one thing that I really want to see is all the fights. I don't want us to get to like the 4th group's fight and then all of a sudden it cuts away to Tomura in the background doing something sinister, or us to have some kind of flashback sequence that we don't really need. Sure, maybe we need it with Irizawa and Shinso, but that shouldn't come at the expense of something else that's exciting and that we want to see as an audience. I've not read the manga, so I don't know whether that's going to be the case or not, but we'll soon find out. What did you think, dear listener, of this week's episode of My Hero Academia? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you like the way this direction is going? Let me know in the comment section down below. And then once again, once you're there, be sure to like, favourite, subscribe, click the bell, and do all the YouTube stuff that YouTube wants you to do. YouTube is an increasingly scary place for small content creators, and any support that you can give me will go a long way. It always does me a power of good. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye! Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, favourite, subscribe, click the bell, and do all the YouTubey stuff that YouTube wants you to do. Go on, it'll do me a power of good. Until next time, my friends, goodbye!